cover such increases. Therefore, let it be resolved to increase the disposal fee per pound from 10 cents to 12 cents as of July 1, 2019. That will cover us, right? And,
That'll cover us from the rest of the year.
For the rest of the year.
When the tipping fees go up potentially, we'll be able to address that in November. If in fact they go up, Resource Recovery is stating right now that they have allocated monies to potentially hold off a year. So, I mean, but we still have recycling fees that are, increasing, things of that nature. So it's not just, it's been a very wet season the last couple of years, so that's also increased our tipping fees. And so, I didn't get a second for that.
Second.
I'll give that to Mr. Dittis. We'll go over. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
Okay. Have another one, right? Okay, resolution to appoint transfer station attendant. Whereas the transfer station has been getting steadily busier, and whereas Howard Whitaker has applied for the job and has been approved by the Ulster County Personnel Department, therefore let it be resolved to hire Mr. Whitaker at the rate of $11.80 per hour.
It's minimum wage, right?
I agree.
Second?
Second.
So? Actually, it's more than minimum wage. We're ahead of the game. We're a year ahead. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Okay. Thank you, Matt. Okay, final resolution for the evening. So I budgeted last year for the upcoming issues with all of our antiquated systems here, as far as the computers and operating systems. Based on 2020, we will no longer be in a security situation in the town itself. It'll actually cost the town a tremendous amount of money monthly if we do not upgrade. So I went ahead and I budgeted $1,000 for each computer to be upgraded, and I've gone forth and I've actually took the advice. I think of some folks in the audience actually, and I went directly to Dell, and I did get a lesser bid. So we are currently about 400 and change under our $3,000 max. So at this time, I'd like to present the resolution to purchase updated operating systems and computers for the town clerk, town deputy clerk, and town highway secretary. Whereas the town has budgeted to update all systems with Windows 2007 or Windows 2008 operating systems, and whereas the town has deemed as essential for the safety of our devices, records, and networks, so therefore be resolved that the town of Hurley accepts the lowest bid from Dell Sales Direct of the total purchase, including 3 OptiPlex 3060 towers with Microsoft 2019 Office Home and Business, 1 Dell 19-inch monitor, all included 5-year extended warranty at a purchase price of $2,542.30. So, as long as everyone's comfortable with that, I'll request a second.
Second.
Second from Mr. Diz. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. The reason why I didn't purchase all of them, we have a 5-hour allowance from our website company and our IT professionals. So I'm trying to do it so we can stay in that frame. Dell Direct said they can give us this as we need them. Otherwise I would have ordered more, but so I think we can use a couple hours left over this month, and then we have 5 fresh. That way they're not charging us any fees to update and load things, and so I'm just trying to keep a penny wise here.
John, can I ask a question about that?
Sure.
You have your IT folks set them up. Will they strip out all this nonsense that Dell and companies like that build in? Some of them have real security issues.
So these actually were from the company. I got the same computers that WebJogger is the IT company we use, that they recommended, and I'm assuming that everything is exactly what they need to download, and that anything in there that we don't need is not. But I can definitely inquire. I do know that they're very good, and they're WebJogger, I think, respectfully has maybe 30% of the municipalities in the state that they deal with. So,
John, I
I'm
have
sure
a
they're
question.
aware of what needs to.
Will these new computers also be uploading to your server for
Correct.
records retention?
So,
6-year minimum?
yep, so my idea for the next 5 years now is
Mhm.
to budget so that we can get rid of all the old servers, go to the cloud. Everything that we have will now then be keyboard and monitor.
And they're gonna put everything that's on the server now onto the cloud, so you can
Yeah,
have it stored
yeah.
there?
So that's all part of the next 5-year plan to address the town's needs and get us back into out of the Stone Age kind of thing.
Excellent.
Which is good for everybody, because then we can all go wherever we are, we can actually, find a file, look at it, rather than have to come all the way back to the town and address things. Okay, any other questions? Mike's not here, see we do have a couple representatives from the highway. You guys, Charlie and Harry, you guys have started the project up in Rolling Meadows?
Yes, Fred started it today.
Okay, now, so you guys, I spoke a little bit with the engineer, because on some other stuff that Matt and I actually went up to,
Up to Wildwood.
Wildwood, thank you, and to address some of their water and stormwater issues. So, my question is who's setting all the lines up and everything? Is Mike available to help you guys out today?
No, Mike's out of town for 3 days.
So you guys started the project?
Yes, he had spoke with Fred on Friday. I was not in on Friday, so I don't know what was said, but it was started today. Baker's brothers were there,
Oh, okay.
and they started moving forward.
Okay. All right. All right.
So far from what we've heard, ground is soft, it's taking a little bit longer than anticipated.
All the rain we've had over
Yeah.
the spring. Okay. All right.
Yeah, we had an interesting meeting up on Wildwood, and not gonna address you guys, but Mike was here to talk about that. There's some pretty big issues up there. We actually talked to the folks, and we were looking at their yards, and it happened to pour, and when I went back and looked at it, there's just streams going down through their yards, and it's bad. And I know there's certain limited budgets with their highway department, but it's something we need to talk to Mike about and really get something going.
Right. So in respect to that, I did speak to Rich, and that was actually, Linda Cook was actually still the highway superintendent when he was up there last looking at that.
Wow.
So it was an interesting, talking to him. So he did say, have Mike give him a call, because he's not aware of the grant that Mike Schultz is referring to. So if in fact that grant does exist, Rich Ebenir-Laris could potentially go and continue to look at it, keep an eye on it, make sure if when it comes available. Right. So there definitely needs to be a plan on topographic elevations, things of that nature. So these are things that we're potentially going to have to address even without the grant, and get an idea of what we're looking at.
Why don't I reach out to Mike next and see if I can get him over there, so two of us can take a look at that, and we can talk about the grant and how we can get the engineers out there to see if at least we can start looking at something. There's some relief up there too.
Okay. Very good. Glenn's not here, building inspections, everything seems to be going well. Stepped in the office today, he had nothing for me to give to the audience today. Recreational department, we have some exciting stuff happening, I think, Saturday? We have at the Reformed Church. We have Planetarium. Planetarium is gonna be at
Oh, that's the library, right?
the library. So the library and recreation department are kind of like starting to work a little more together. The library seems to have a much larger audience base. Seems so. So I'm taking advantage of their help and assistance, and we're kind of working hand in foot with the library. So we've given some of the recreational funds, youth funds, towards the library. They seem to be a little more organized, so we can get our recreation department going a little more. Any other topics or something? Yes,
Just,
CC?
So the CAC, I also represent us on the Ulster County Environmental Management Council. And they're asking all of us to report on the environmental accomplishments of our towns to the new executive.
Right.
And so you mentioned the charging station.
Yeah.
So did we actually also buy a vehicle or is that?
So no, so charging station first, vehicle second. So I think we probably will, I think we have at least another year left with the Ford before we, I want to make sure that we have, we can get some money back when we, trade it in, whatever we decide to do, sell it out. So I think at least one more year. Let's see what we can get the charging station in by budget time. And then if we can work it out that way, we'll indicate. My idea is I spoke with the county previous executive, and we were supposed to get on their next fleet order of the Chevy. So that was a big one. So if you're talking, if they're putting together a fleet order for another Chevy Volt, and I have to figure this out quicker, please let me know.
Okay. And then can the public charge at those?
Absolutely, that's what it's designed for. Yeah, I mean, it's potentially a revenue base for the town. So especially, using solar and everything, so that's one of the biggest.
So do they pay for that or?
Yeah, so basically your car and or app on your phone dictates where these charging stations are. You pull in, you charge, it's by kilowatt, if I'm not mistaken. So we can determine those prices as we go. But it also opens up a kind of a shared service also with the county. So if they're going down 209, they've come from Ellenville, they need to charge to get back to town, to the county buildings. Potentially they can pull in and utilize the services also. So, it's also nice that way. Primarily though, other than revenues coming in from it, it also acknowledges, some of the stores here, the country store, stewards, maybe the inn, while people are waiting for their charges to happen. So, sales tactics. Right, John, Mr. Davis?
Nope.
Barbara?
No.
All the way down? Bombs, no? Okay, okay.
Did you have a question?
Yeah, well, so does Peter. Peter can go first. And I'll,
You volunteering me?
yes. 'Cause I love you.
Okay. This morning it might be me because I might just not get aware of it, but this morning I found out that there's the only one polling place tomorrow for Hurley. And I'm kind of wondering when we as a town, and you guys and all of us, were told that there was only going to be one
That's
voting
dictated by the
precinct
county.
open.
Yeah, that's dictated by the county. We don't-
Okay, but when was it? When was it donated? When was it started? When did you know about this?
We
Or
found
when-
out last week, right?
I just found out it today.
I mean, so it was late last week that we found out where I didn't know actually until you just said something. You're saying, so there's no polling at the West Firehouse?
No,
Correct.
No, in fact, our card's all sent.
West Hurley
The
Firehouse.
thing we got in the mail and that everybody got says it's at West Hurley.
I didn't know.
So everybody who's gonna go vote
I didn't even
tomorrow
get that card from my own.
up in our area is gonna go to West
This is
Hurley,
ridiculous.
and it's gonna be a ghost town.
This
And
is
now-
ridiculous.
This is something I think as a town, it's for everybody. We should be up on this stuff. Because if this continues on, I know there's earlier voting, and I know they're cutting precincts, I get it. But we need to be aware to tell our constituents and people, everybody in the town, way beforehand, somehow we gotta put signs up on the door, the walls, somewhere that people can read.
It's a real hardship.
Shouldn't
Or
the county
something, or it
notify?
should be on the website, but even not everybody looks at that.
Well, your card should be right too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's-
So something's wrong.
Yeah, there's something wrong. I'll make a phone call. We have what, till 12 noon is when the election starts?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't even know that there's a primary tomorrow.
So I will call Board of Elections.
Yeah, because-
Actually, I'll call right now.
This is ridiculous.
okay, and the other, I have just one question maybe the board would consider to vote for. If this is gonna be something that happens, not due to our fault, but just as the way things are going with cutting the precincts down and the voting, the ability to vote, that we alternate it between here in the West Hurley Fire Department, if there's only gonna be one that people need to know. I mean, I think
will
that
not-
would
I will
be
not stand
fair.
for one polling
I mean,
place.
there's 50% of the
That's not
people.
happening. There's not one polling place. I will not stand for that.
How many,
That's ridiculous.
does anybody know how many town of Ulster has for polling tomorrow?
They're in the paper, it was in the paper.
Was it the paper?
Shokan has up there, everybody has it.
More than
there.
one? Are we the
Oh,
only,
yeah.
I think
We're
they
the
have more
only
than
town
one.
with one.
we're the only one with
That was in the newspaper.
Yes.
Announcing
Okay.
polling.
And
I thought it was an
the
error.
school did it to us, now you're doing it to us, you really.
They're not doing it.
Okay.
And
County
you know,
is
the
doing
school had no
County.
choice either. Actually, they weren't even gonna let the school use their machines. The
Right.
schools had to fight to use their machines, and they cut the number of machines they gave to the
Yeah, no,
school too. The
some
school
people
was
went to
upset.
Woodstock, they were closed.
Yeah, they were upset,
They were closed, they didn't have.
This has
they
to do with the
couldn't
board of
vote.
elections, we need to get on and figure that out now.
And,
Well, what are we gonna do about tomorrow?
yeah,
I'm gonna make a phone call. I mean, obviously, they're gonna get it in the morning. Hopefully, they can figure it out by noon and they can have
Nothing
something set
They
up.
won't open it up
They
another
can't
polling place.
possibly.
I got a phone.
Yeah, because they're probably not set up for it.
The polling place being changed. I got a phone call. I'm registered as an independent. The person who called me was calling all the independent voters to tell them that the voting is here and not at West Hurley. And I got the call, it was on my machine, and I wasn't home at 9:30 this morning. So somebody knew about this. It was not in the Woodstock Times, which I read, it was not correct.
Shouldn't the county provide more advance notice, John, for these
Absolutely.
kinds of things?
I'm boggled. I thought you guys had a polling place. I was not aware that there was no polling place. I was.
This is the first.
Your town clerk didn't find out till this morning. That
Was there
doesn't
any
bode
other
well for the
independent
county.
votes that knew about this?
No, I just got the call.
From an independent vote?
From someone who was calling independent voters, explaining about the write-in vote, which maybe a lot of people don't know about either. So I got the call yesterday, and then I got another call today on my machine saying that the polling place was only here, which I'll make sure to get here, but a lot of people, I'm on the road, but a lot of people, somebody I told said, where is that? They didn't even know where this place was, and they live in
On our
Earl.
website.
well, somebody should.
No, I'm gonna say much.
Yeah.
So everybody there,
One more sheet.
nobody knew about it.
I knew about it.
I'd like to make a point that one person that I had called in the Independence Party said that she had received a postcard from John Parker saying that the polling place was just here. So somebody knows for a period of time to go through the mail, to get a postcard in the mail saying only here. But the rest of us have no idea.
Right.
I mean, in all 40 years of being here, the West Hurley Fire Department has always been where we've
Yeah,
lived.
it kind of feels like retribution.
No, I-
It feels like discrimination for West Hurley and
Yes,
Glenford,
it
frankly.
does.
I-
It really
I
does.
agree with you. This is, it's unacceptable. I mean, yeah, I honestly have no clue. No idea.
And I have another question.
Well, we have to get at least a sign on West Hurley to come here.
Well, we're gonna do it.
They don't even, some people don't even know where this is.
Yeah.
So it's the
Seriously,
directions,
they
so
don't
they
know
have
where
directions.
town hall is. That's why we need a community center up in West Charlotte.
Okay, so can we do something on the, so you can come in on the email last before you leave? Okay. And I'll get to Board of Elections and I can't believe that they didn't let the town know.
Yeah, you're the board.
Well, whoever, Ashley or Turco. one of
But how
them.
did Mr. Parker found out that?
Yeah. It was in the paper.
What?
I have no idea.
Pay attention. To where? Yeah, where do you find it?
Board of Elections.
Okay.
Well, they
Is that
should certainly
another
let the
question?
town know.
Yeah, and also, there's some of these town board meetings up in West Charlotte too, because a lot of people don't know where the town hall is, and they don't know where it comes to Hurley at this hour of night. And they have asked if we can have some of these town board meetings up in West Charlotte, in the firehouse if possible, so that you can give us a chance to come up, instead of us coming down here all the time. I don't think it's right that we have to, a lot of people can't make the
We used
point.
to do that, and the
Yeah.
objection from people was that as a taxpayer, their tax dollars go to support this town hall. when we had it at the firehouse, we would have to pay a custodial staff at the firehouse. So people felt that this, just like if you live in the town of Ulster, you're gonna have to go out to their town hall for meetings. That's
But their
just
town
the
hall
way
is
it is.
more centrally located.
Get volunteer
Well, no, if
custodians.
you look
Okay,
like,
all right, now, you know, I'm not gonna get anywhere with you, so it doesn't matter.
I was just
okay?
trying to answer your question. You found the town hall tonight, didn't you?
I wasn't talking to you.
I'm talking to you.
Well, I don't care.
Okay, thank you.
You were
Be
quiet.
well,
volunteer
that was
custodians.
always the reason why people said, they support the town hall here, so. And I guess that you'll just
And I
have
also
to
have
make a
another
point.
question. On the planning board, we got a thing from the planning board today about, at 8:30, was supposed to be Arizona planning board, I thought. Arizona development was supposed to be on the planning board for Monday, but it says Cedar Street development. Is Danburg stuff going beyond that, or is it gonna be Arizona? Because at the planning board meeting, at the agenda meeting, it said Arizona. It did not say Cedar Street, and today's email says Cedar Street.
There was a request for Cedar Street to go on.
Yeah, but I thought it went at the end and Arizona was still in the beginning. I had no service here.
Well, I didn't say anything about Arizona.
I thought it was in the very beginning of the.
No, so
There's
Cedar Street
nothing.
development is gonna be on that meeting too.
Mm-hmm.
And does anybody know what it's about?
I did inquire with the secretary for planning board, and they said they have nothing right now. They just wanted to be on the agenda.
The state environmental review.
We requested, is it past stuff or is it new stuff that you're presenting as far as, the development for the departments, or is it for the school? And they would not disclose that. So,
Well, it's also sort of strange that the paper has, plans for them to have changed from housing to a potential yeshiva, a school. Very confusing. Have you been informed about any of this?
only from the paper.
And so that's not even mentioned at the meeting. I mean, they're not even informing you about.
This is the first that we've heard of them, from them, and since the moratorium was put out there.
Now, are they on the moratorium?
They are part of the moratorium.
Okay, do they know that?
Yes, you know
Oh,
that.
absolutely.
Okay, because they said something about that they weren't on the moratorium. I think that I know. Yeah. But,
So John, you don't know if there's anything about the seeker going on at that July 1st meeting?
Seeker?
Yeah, the state
that?
environmental review.
I do
law
know-
review.
The only thing that potentially that they maybe present to us would be a transportation analysis. I don't know of anything else that they haven't.
and I heard that the transportation was done by somebody in Dannenberg's little community of people.
You have to come on the first and find
Well,
out.
I will be.
Yeah.
Oh, believe me, we'll be there.
You mentioned the moratorium, I saw your letter today about what the county felt about it. It says like one page might have been missing from that.
I did, I apologize. I did send out the second page.
Oh.
It was a back and front and
Yeah, I didn't see that.
copied it. But if you go home, it's on your computer.
Yeah, I got it.
And they seem to have some strong opinions, I know you're planning to talk about it on Wednesday?
Yep, you're invited. This is Mrs. Kellogg, and
Maybe everyone here doesn't know about that. so they
it's
might-
not open to the public for everybody to go.
It's not open?
No.
It's not a public meeting?
Nope, it's just a committee meeting. Everybody that was requested that wanted to be on it, and.
Oh, this is
elected and
This is the
appointed.
comprehensive plan meeting?
It is going to be the comprehensive plan about setting up dates for future, and also to review the requests for the moratorium that the county put forth.
I thought every town committee was a public meeting. I've never heard of anything other
Well,
than
we're-
personnel
If you
being
would like to come,
not open to the public.
if you're welcome to come, it's just no comments coming from the people, it's.
But people can come and
Sure,
listen
we're
to
gonna-
the
we'll be
discussion.
ready.
It's not a closed
So open
meeting.
meetings law does
There's
apply.
just not gonna be any comments from the people, it's gonna be the elected officials, appointed folks, and things of that nature, to determine what best we should do now with the moratorium, and how do we wanna address it, do we wanna change things?
More of an organizational type,
That's all, and and to set meetings from here forth,
yeah.
so that everybody can schedule their lives around this meeting. So,
So open meetings law will apply.
other than we will not be taking any,
Public comment.
any public comment or minutes as far as, those types of requests. Any other questions? No? Okay. I do have a couple things, some new business. I will be starting the collective bargaining negotiations with the highway department. I've received their formal letter to establish that, so I look forward to sitting down with the union and Harry and the rest of the guys from the highway department, see what we can do. I also have been preparing a social media policy. Currently, the town does not have a social media policy, and we will be putting forth some dialogue, and I'll have this out to everybody. This was given to me by our insurance company, NYMER. It's very interesting, and I think some of the things that in here are already potentially can be addressed. So
I think when Ulster County did their presentation, was they suggested that we have that
100%.
also, right?
Yeah, this was part of our sexual harassment.
Right.
Everything's in here. But so that's I'll be working on that in July and try to get that going as quickly as possible. So with that, do you not have anything else?
Hey John, can I ask one more thing about, because you're gonna check on the polling places for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
If they say no, can somebody get up there before noon with a large printed out, sign? Even if it's on paper, we tape it on the doors or something that says that the polling place has been moved to here. And maybe even the direction, not the directions, but just the address. So
address.
somebody can,
Yes.
you plug those in your phone, if somebody doesn't.
I think that should be done by Board of Elections, they're the one who potentially made the change, they're gonna have to.
They may
go
have-
out.
With no
They might even,
real.
Well, when he
Have to have a
calls,
representative up
he
there.
could tell them to just put them up for us.
we might have to have a representative up there during the day to instruct people where to go.
Well,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is we just don't know.
Right.
So I just wanna make sure we cover all our
Right.
bases, so we don't.
Maybe I can have Joanne. I'll have my secretary go. I will not be available by noon time to do that. So. Okay. Anything else?
I got a postcard one, but it doesn't pertain to the Republican Party or the Democratic Party.
Does it tell you where you're voting?
Working
Right,
families.
right.
I have 8:02. Oh, hold on. Wait, did you want to go into executive session?
Right, yeah, I'd like to.
You want to announce or?
I'd like to go into executive session, talk about personnel.
So Mike's going to make a motion to go into executive session about personnel and disciplinary issues. Barbara, Bill, seconded.
Well, to
All in
discuss
favor?
them.
Aye.
Yeah,
Opposed?
we're supposed to be
So
going.
carried. Okay. Thank you, everyone. I don't know how long we leave, if you're welcome to stay.